That's not what I was saying. It's not a live styling with death grip sudden death. Hey, what's going on? Happy Saturday. I'm going to get on here with my Burn the Ships shave kit and do a little Saturday morning shave. And I thought I would answer any questions if somebody had one. You never know. You never know. Alrighty. So I love wet shaving, and I like to expose more people to wet shaving. There's a lot of benefits to the wet shaving. In my 30 some odd years of shaving, wet shaving has been the best for me to clean up the thick beard stubble with less skin irritation and less ingrown hairs. So if you like, you can definitely go check out the shave kits. I have put them somewhere in here in the live if you want to go check it out, to include the wonderful skull lather bowl and the African tea tree oil shave oil. I'm doing very well. Happy Saturday, February 8th. So for shaving, what I have found is get yourself a hot shower right before shaving. That's going to soften up that stubble. It's going to open the pores up. You can pre-treat with a shave oil. Mainly, what you're trying to do is you're trying to create a protective barrier so that the razor will glide and cut versus snagging. If you're using an old dull razor, and I will give you an example. This is a disposal razor, and you can see that the pad is dry and those blades are pretty clogged. When I was a younger man, I would continue to use a razor like this for like a month, rip up my face, all of that stuff, give me all kinds of ingrown hairs. And today I will be shaving with the Death Grip Burn the Ships single edge safety razor with flexing head. This flexing head is going to follow the contours of my face. The razor is going to do the work, and it's going to put the blade at the right angle to cut, so that I'm not, putting it in the wrong place. Anyways, without further ado, I must soak the brush. A lot of the, I don't want to call them mistakes. A lot of the issues I see with people that first start to wet shave, they just take their brush, which this one's from frankshaving.com. They take their brush, just get it wet a little bit, and try to lather up their soap that way. This is like a sponge, and I'm using a softer bristle brush because the shave soap I'm using is a little bit softer. So what you want to do, get you a cup, put some hot water in it, and if you like, this is a Bobandelliothismustache cup, which you can find via my bio. Put your brush in there into the hot water, 60 seconds to 90 seconds, and that's going to absorb the water. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of shave oil as a pre-treat. These are also really good for after you shave. This is going to help soothe the skin, and it's also going to help heal any of those nicks you get. A little bit of shave oil to pre-treat, right? That's going to help with that lubricating barrier. Basically, you're trying to reduce the friction of the blade, right? Got that in there. Now, what the cool thing about safety razors, right? Why is this called a safety razor? Prior to safety razors, if I can pull one out real quick, here we go. You had straight razors, right? The entire blade was now against your skin. So they came out with safety razors like this Burn the Ships from Death Grip. That guard right there limits the amount of the razor that's against your skin. Hence, safety razor. All right, these use replacement blades. Every 3 to 5 shaves, you should replace the blade. You may have to change it more often if you have very thick stubble like me, where it's going to dull the blade. If the blade gets dull, it's not going to cut very well. It's going to snag. You could cause those hairs to turn in like that or break the hairs. You'll cause a lot of skin irritation. These are like pennies on the dollar. Okay? Single edge, right? That is not a blade edge. That right there at the bottom is the blade edge. And this just goes and it slides right in here. And now you can see that the blade edge is sticking out, and this guard is going to limit the amount of the blade surface against my skin. Right? Flexing head, this is great. Now, been soaking the brush. This is very important to the success of creating good lather, right? Basically, you take your brush out, wring it out a little bit. There should be a little bit of water left in there. Not a ton, right? I'm going to set that in my skull lather bowl. And if you're interested, this is linked down below. Part of a kit that you can get from Death Grip. Burn the Ships Shave Soap. This is the Inferno. It has a cinnamon type scent to it. I've used this quite a lot. The darker color is charcoal, which is going to be activated when you're applying it. Really good for your skin. So I got my shave brush, right? A little bit of water in there. I like to just pour it out. This is a softer, like, shave soap. You don't need a whole bunch. This is called loading, right? I'm getting the soap into the brush. You don't need a whole bunch. That's probably good. Put that right into your lather bowl. Now, if you don't have a nice, cool skull lather bowl like this, which is linked, you can use a coffee cup. You can use the lid right here if you wanted to. What I do is when I put the brush in, I look to see if any water kind of gets out. See how there's just a little bit of water? If I don't necessarily see some of the water, I'll take just a tiny bit and add it in there. It is called wet shaving. Now, very similar to when you get your hands wet and you add soap and you rub them together and it creates more soap, you're going to do that with the shave brush. This portion is where you're aerating the brush. And you just whip it through there, and it comes down to preference. Sometimes you want it a little more watery if you have longer stubble, maybe watery so it doesn't get as stuck in the blade, and you have to clean it less often. But it doesn't take very long before you start to make a nice lather inside. You can do it more. You could stop right here. Depends on your preference. The cool thing I like about these shave soaps like this and the shave cream is they all have these wonderful, wonderful scents. I mean, look at that. It keeps making more and more. This is called aerating, right? By whipping it around, air's getting inside. That brush acted like a sponge. I loaded it with some of the shave soap, and now look at that. I mean, all right. Now, I keep saying now, meow, meow, meow. For those of you that like Super Troopers, right? Meow, meow. So the shave brush, right? This is good for applying because not only is it going to exfoliate your skin, get any leftover dirt that you have there, it's going to massage the skin, right? Keeping it prepped and loose, right? So that you'll be able to cut better, but it applies the shave soap, right? I've seen some guys, they're doing this, which is fine. But when you're applying it like this, you're getting the full benefit of the shave brush, right? Massaging the skin, you're prepping it, getting ready for a good close shave. Look at that. And it's still a good amount on there. For those of you joining a little late, this is Burn the Ships from Death Grip, which I have linked below if you want to check it out. I'm also using the Burn the Ships collaborative one blade element single edge safety razor with flexing head. As I've been using the single edges with the flexing head, it's a lot less skin irritation because that blade is going to, or the head is going to flex with the contours of my skin. So facial hair grows in multiple directions, right? For the closest shave, you shave with, across, and then against if your skin can tolerate it. Now you could take the long strokes. I like to do a little bit of the short strokes. And what you can do as well is make tension on the skin. The more flat you make it, the less likely that you're going to nick yourself. When you shave, pick the razor up and put it back down. Don't move it from side to side or that blade right there is going to cut you. And of course, rinse it out. You know, with the safety razors too, they have a little bit larger opening, right, between the guard and the blade. A lot less gets stuck in there. So you love it, even though you can't grow a beard. Well, thank you. Light pressure, I'm pushing the head in like this so that it flexes, and this is going to do the work. Less likely to nick myself. Nicks do and can happen anytime that you shave long enough. If you have a skin imperfection, you push too hard, you rush, or maybe you move the blade, you give yourself a little nick. It happens, it's okay. They usually heal pretty quick. There's alum blocks and shave oils and shave bombs that you can use that will help heal that. So when I shave my neck through here, right, you can pull down here to make a little bit of tension. I tilt my head to make the skin tight through here, because if not, right, I'm running over rounded skin there and I'm gonna hit down in there. So I usually tilt my head. Let that razor head do its job. Some of the other razors I have, the heads are a little bit on the heavy side, which makes me feel like that heavier head, it's doing the work. You don't need to push very hard. If you've seen any of my videos, I'm going pretty quick, but I've been doing this a very, very long time. Very similar to if you're learning how to dice up with a knife, right? You start out slow, but eventually you've done it so much that you can pretty much whip through and slice them up. And that's not that I'm a master chef. I'm just saying I've been doing it long enough that I'm pretty used to it. It's like a muscle reflex. So this is my skull lather bowl, which you can see down there. It's from Death Grip. This made wonderful, wonderful cinnamon kind of scented shave soap. This is great. Shave brush. I did, and you can check it out. I did use a little bit of shave oil to pre-treat after I got out of the shower. That's going to add to that lubricating protective barrier, which is going to allow the razor to glide and cut versus snagging on those hairs. If you're feeling snagging, then you need a little more wet shave cream or gel, maybe put a shave oil on, because when it snags, you're tugging those hairs, right? The more that you tug those hairs, the more irritation you're going to get on your skin, and the more likely you're going to have an ingrown hair. So, as I was mentioning, I like using a shave brush because this applies it. My hands are generally pretty clean, right? I'm not putting it in my hands. I'm not rubbing it. I'm not rinsing my hands. I'm not shaving and having to repeat that. So I do prefer a shave brush. The shave brush is also going to massage the skin, keeping it prepped for a good shave, especially if you just got out of the shower. It's going to exfoliate. So any dirt or anything like that, it's going to help remove it so that while you're shaving, you're not introducing the dirt into your skin or pushing it through. And it gets those hairs ready for a good shave. So again, this is linked down below. This is the Death Grips Burn the Ship Collaborative One Blade Element Safety Razor. Single edge. So there's only one edge. That's not a shaving edge. That is. It has a flexing head, so it's going to follow the contours of your skin and help reduce the nicks and skin irritation. As I mentioned before, if you get a little tension on your skin, tighten it up. That's going to flatten the skin, and you're less likely to nick yourself. My chin is kind of bumpy. I almost always nick myself right there. Now, when you shave, you can do small strokes or you can do long single strokes. I prefer the small, short strokes, always picking the razor up, light pressure. Let that head right there do the work, right? Look at that, right? And it goes right through with safety razors. You typically don't get a whole lot of clogging. If your shave lather is maybe a little drier, it might get stuck in there more. So sometimes I'll go with a wetter. Hey, how are you? Sometimes I'll go with a wetter lather. I mean, look at that. It's not clogged up in there. And that's where you'll get, and I was mentioning this before. When I was younger, before I started wet shaving, I was using razors kind of like this, either the cartridge razors or the multi-blade razors, and I wasn't paying attention to when that pad would dry out. And even though you can see that one's pretty clogged with debris, I would continue using this for a couple more weeks. I used to tear my face up, give myself a bunch of ingrown hairs. That doesn't always happen with safety razors. And I say that because you've got to change the blades out. This is a replacement blade. You use it for 3 to 5 shaves. And the reason you switch it out around there is that blade is going to start to dull. If you're using a dull blade, you're breaking the hair versus cutting it, causing skin irritation and ingrown hairs. This is one good way to reduce skin irritation and ingrown hairs. So for the neck, as I mentioned, I tilt and I'm trying to put tension so it tightens the skin up, right? Because if not, right, if I'm trying to shave, you can see those little wrinkles. If I tilt my head the opposite way, it's going to tighten that skin and I'm less likely to nick myself. See that? Just a little thing you can do to help out. My average shave time is 4 to 6 minutes wet shaving. Obviously, when I'm making videos, sometimes it'll take a little bit longer if I'm stopping to explain things. But people are like, oh, I don't have time for that. 4 to 6 minutes. And I have a great shave that pretty much lasts all day. Now the chin, right, is bumpy. My chin is bumpy here. Right through there. I don't know if you can see it well, but it is rather bumpy. If I don't try to tighten that skin up or flatten it and I run the blade over, even with the flexing head, I run the risk of nicking it. So I typically will move my mouth to tighten it, right? And then go at it from different angles. And you definitely want to use light pressure. Always use light pressure unless you're super comfortable and you've been shaving for a long time. So what I do is I move my mouth. And see how my chin goes down and then out? Got to be careful in there when doing that. Kind of hard to see with your mustache up in the way. But that's how I kind of approach my chin. I do go across. Facial hair grows in different directions. It'll grow, you know, down. It'll grow this way. It'll grow that way. I think under here on my neck, my hair likes to grow like this, or it grows this direction. I forget which one, but if I were to grow it out until it's super long, it grows like this. So shaving with is actually shaving this direction. Let me clean this up, make sure we got this pretty well. Light pressure. All right. So when I say the facial hair grows in different directions, hopefully you guys will be able to hear this. Maybe some of you have recognized I pull this business card out from my buddy who owns Three Saints Barbershop in Jessup, Pennsylvania. But if I go with the direction I just shaved, right? It's not very noisy. You probably hear it because of my Rode microphone. But now let me go the opposite direction. Right? Now, you can feel that. Oh, I feel stubble. And if you do, and your skin can tolerate it, and you want a clean, clean, close shave, then shave the other direction. So that's why I shave multiple directions when I'm shaving. I've been shaving like that probably since I was about 16. I first started shaving really when I was about 12. My brother was doing it. I wanted to do it. I had, you know, I had this standard 12-year-old peach fuzz. But I started shaving and was kind of long. When I was about 16, 17, it started to get that prickly stubble. If you're not sure what the prickly stubble is and you're young, hug your dad or your grandpa on Saturday morning before they shave, and you'll feel that stubble, right? And you can run your finger, if they'll let you, and you'll feel that stubble in the different directions. So again, I am using Burn the Ships shave soap, which is linked down below in the products. I am using the Skull Lather Bowl. And this is really cool. A lot of people are like, oh, I thought that was a mug I could drink out of. Well, you can. I would do it when it was clean. But this is a kit item that you can get together. They also have the wonderful Burn the Ships collaborative one blade element safety razor single edge, which I have linked below. I did use the Death Grip tea tree oil as a pre-treat, and then when I'm done shaving, I will probably put this on to help soothe the skin. For those joining late, I mean, look at that. And that Burn the Ships has like a cinnamon scent to it. It's darker in color because it has charcoal in it. Shave brushes are great because this is going to massage the skin, prep it for shaving, and exfoliate it. So any dirt you might have on there, help remove that dirt so that you're not spreading the dirt around, you know, into your skin, which could lead to maybe razor bumps and or acne, right? This is how you apply it. I've seen some guys, they typically will do this, and that's fine. But if you really want to take advantage of everything that a shave brush will do, massage that skin, work it in. I'm telling you, that smells really, really good. All right. I'm going to shave against the grain for the majority of my facial hair. I know this will get me a closer shave. If this irritates your skin, I don't recommend you do it. So very similar to going this direction, when you shave, pick the blade out, right? You don't want that edge against your skin. Tilt my head, light pressure. Clean that puppy off, get everything out of there. And like I said, that's one of the cool things about the safety razors is that nice large gap between the blade and the guard, so not a whole lot gets stuck in there. Now this side, doing the cheek. I'm barely holding the razor between these fingers. Good. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday. What shaving is like me time, right? Take a little bit of time. I'm making sure I look nice. Today, I'm taking my 10-year-old to a father-daughter dance, weather permitting. So I want to make sure I look nice for her. I'll style up the mustache later, and we'll do a little dancing and eat some snacks and get some drinks and stuff. It'll be a good time. So what you can tighten the skin that way. You can pull down and you can see the skin moving. This helps flatten the skin so that you get a nice close shave with less chance of nicking yourself. I've seen some people in some of my videos on the multiple platforms that like to say that the razor must be a bad razor because you're having to use it multiple times. And as I just explained, the hair grows in different directions, shave with, across, and against to get the best shape. How is your face light in color? I'm not sure. I've got a blue tone light right now, so it's going to look better. How long did it take me to grow it out? Well, I've had this mustache since 2018. I have trimmed the ends. I mean, the longest I've had it was 22 inches, and that was back in 2023 when I was part of the world record longest mustache chain. All right, so the chin. I'm gonna put a little more of the shave soap. And I do move my mouth. As you can see, the skin tension is changing. Light pressure. See all those bumpy parts? That's typically what I'm nicking on my chin. When I'm pushing a little too hard, going too fast, all of that. Hello, Argentina! How are you? Just doing a little shave on Saturday, a little wet shave. Got big plans this evening with my little one to go to a father-daughter dance. I can still feel a little bit. I hope you guys appreciate it. A lot of times my phone is turned around and I'm trying to look into the mirror, into the back of the phone so that I can see where I'm lined up in here. Now, once in a while I'll see across my comments, how do I shave the Adam's apple? Because if you rake a razor over it, right, you're more likely to nick it. So I go at it from an angle. Tighten that skin. And that's how I shave that area, trying to reduce the amount of nicks. So far, I've done a pretty good job. No nicks. Typically, when I'm rushing, that's about the time I get the nicks. And that, you know, everybody gets nicks at some point. It happens when you're shaving. Things like a flexing head definitely help reduce that, because the head will reduce the amount of pressure if you let the head do its work, you know, putting it on like this versus trying to do it like that, so that you're at the right angle. I think 30 degrees is a good angle. If you're like me when I was younger, trying to save some money, this is the kind of razor you would use. And as you can see, it's pretty clogged in there. That pad is dry as all get up. And when I was younger, I would continue to use this until my face was just so chewed up that I had to buy another one. So if you're using this, if that pad gets dry, get another one. I mean, what is this? Like maybe $1? So now this, I bought this. I'm going to have this probably the rest of my life. And what do I replace on this every 3 to 5 shaves? The blades, right? The little blade inside of there, I replace this. This is pennies on the dollar. I'll keep this for a very, very long time. All right, I'm just gonna clean up a little bit. I'm always nervous shaving on a live. I had one time. I was actually using a straight razor. So I was using this guy right here, which is called a shave-at. And you can see the blade, and a little bit more sticks out on this end. And I just happened to be on this side, and I tilted my hand, and when I did, I drew the blade, the tip of the blade, down my skin in the middle of a live. So I quickly like shifted over. I'm like, I'm gonna shave this side. And I'm like, you know what? As I took the brush around, some of the blood had gone down, and I made everything pink. And I was like, you know what? I think I'll finish up there for the day. So I always get a little bit nervous doing a live shave. But if you take your time, you use light pressure, get you a hot shower first, put a little shave oil like this, which is linked in the products portion. This is going to pre-treat the skin. It helps to get a better shave. If you're taking a hot shower and you're using your razor and you're shaving and you're still getting irritation, add a shave oil prior to shaving. This can reduce the amount of skin irritation, and it allows the blade to kind of glide and cut versus snagging on those hairs. If you're feeling snagging, then the hairs are not soft enough, right? Run your hand around. If you feel hair like, oh, I got a little bit right there. Let me see. Nope, none that way, none this way. Let me feel right there. Right? Hair grows in different directions. So let me wrap it up. Definitely want to say this is the razor I used today, Burn the Ships Element. This is a collaborative razor from One Blade, available through the Death Grip TikTok shops. You'll see it down below. It uses feather replacement blades. You replace these every 3 to 5 shaves. Goes in like so. Sorry, I got the lights right in my eyes. All right. I put it in crooked and my hands are slippery. There. Goes in, that head flexes. I also today use Burn the Ships shave soap with the skull lather bowl, which I believe right now is a kit item. It is tagged down below. This is a great, wonderful shave soap. A little bit on the darker side. It's charcoal activated. Smells a little bit like cinnamon. Wonderful scent. The charcoal is supposed to be really good for your skin. This lather bowl, I mean, I could shave 3-4 more times with the amount of lather that's still left in there. Wonderful scent. This is great. Also linked down below. I'm going to rinse off my face here in a little bit, and I'm going to add the shave oil afterwards. I did use it during the pre-treat. How are you going to style for the dance? You know, I'm not sure. I may do like the Imperial, which is my my logo. I thought I had one of my stickers out here. Apparently I don't. But I may do an Imperial. How do I eat? See my mukbang playlist. I just added to it. I think I added to it this morning. You want a mustache like that? It takes a little time, mostly genetics. Give it a little over a year. Hello, Argentina. Thank you so much for watching. So I hope that you're doing well. Well, happy Saturday. Once again, let me wrap up. Burn the Ships. Link down below. If not, go over to Death Grip. They do have it in the shop, or it's available via Amazon. This is the Burn the Ships Element from One Blade, only available through Death Grip. Wonderful single edge safety razor. We'll see you guys later. Much love. Thank you guys. Peace. I'm out. I gotta take my light off. There you go. Peace. I'm out, guys.